Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I'm Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about Mission Shakti speech and the Model Code of Conduct. Now first of all, coming to the current affair, the Election Commission of India has concluded that the Prime Minister Modi's Mission Shakti speech did not violate the Model Code of Conduct. So we have already discussed about Mission Shakti in our previous lecture and we have also discussed about Model Code of Conduct in various lectures. Now briefly about Model Code of Conduct. So Model Code of Conduct is a set of rules or set of guidelines issued by the Election Commission of India. So this is basically some guidelines that the Election Commission of India issues in order to regulate the conduct of political parties and their candidates in the run-up to the elections. So these guidelines are aimed at regulating the activities or the conducts of the political parties plus their candidates. So these guidelines are aimed at conducting a free and fair elections in the country in order to uphold the spirit of democracy in the country. So what is important about Model Code of Conduct is that it does not have a statutory backing. So this is not issued by a law of the parliament. But still, every political party and their candidates adhere to the Model Code of Conduct issued by the Election Commission. So the first time when the Model Code of Conduct was implemented in India was in 1971. This was before the 5th Lok Sabha elections. So as we have seen, the objective of the Model Code of Conduct is to ensure a level playing field for all political parties. So this will ensure a level playing field. That means no party is given an undue advantage over other political parties. And this is the broader objective of Model Code of Conduct. And the other specific objectives of the Model Code of Conduct includes preventing conflicts among political parties, to ensure law and order in the country, and also to ensure that the ruling party does not misuse or use to its advantage the government machinery for its election campaign. Now, the Model Code of Conduct comes into force immediately after the elections are announced by the Election Commission of India. So these are the important facts about Model Code of Conduct and it is very important for your UPSC preliminary examination. Now let us come to Mission Shakti speech and the Model Code of Conduct. But before that, this is our channel StudyIQ and we are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including SSC and bank courses, UPSC optionals, SSC JA courses, teaching examination, railway examination, defense examination, RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, UGC NET, UPSC Civil Services Examination, CLAT exams for various state PSCs and also for various professional courses. You can visit our website www.studyiq.com for more details or you can call to any of these numbers for more information. Now let us first understand what was the dispute related to the Mission Shakti speech and the Model Code of Conduct. So Mission Shakti means India recently conducted or carried out a successful anti-satellite missile test and it was known as Mission Shakti. So it was a ASAT or an anti-satellite missile test. And the Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the achievement through a nationally televised address. So this address of the Prime Minister was accused by the political parties, the opposition parties, that PM was violating the Model Code of Conduct by publicizing the test as a significant achievement of the ruling party, that is BJP. And following this, the CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechury had formally complained to the Election Commission. So he formally placed a complaint with the Election Commission of India that BJP or the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was using unfair means or was against the Model Code of Conduct by publicizing the Mission Shakti. And there were many questions regarding the timing of the test as well as the manner of the announcement as the country was in an election mode. So this was the dispute and let us see what is the MCC mandate in this regard. The Model Code of Conduct Part 7 deals with the conduct of parties in the power. That is, now the BJP or the BJP-led NDA is in power and it has formed the government. So, Part 7 of the Model Code of Conduct covers the provisions regarding the code of conduct or the conduct of the party in power. Now, According to Part 7, the party in power cannot use public money to publicize achievements ahead of the elections. So, public money cannot be used by the government or the party in power in order to make any kind of publicity ahead of the elections. So, Part 7 calls for avoiding the misuse of official mass media during the election period for partisan coverage of political news. And also the publicity regarding achievements with a view to future, and also publicity regarding achievements of the government or the ruling party with a view to furthering the prospects of the party in power should be avoided. That means any kind of publicity provided by the ruling party or the present government in order to increase the prospects of the party to win the upcoming elections should be completely avoided. So these are the mandates under Part 7, and Part 7 deals with the provisions regarding the conduct of parties in power. Now let us understand what are the decisions of the Election Commission in this regard. So the Election Commission had formed a 5-member committee in order to look into this matter, whether the ruling party or the government had violated the Model Code of Conduct. So this 5-member committee held the view that there was no misuse of official mass media. So it means that the announcement of Prime Minister regarding Mission Shakti did not violate the Model Code of Conduct. This was the final conclusion of the 5-member committee appointed by the Election Commission. And the reason is that Doordarshan and All India Radio took the feed from a news agency, and more than 60 channels did the same. So the reason being, the announcement was not directly published by Doordarshan or All India Radio, which are government channels, but the feed was taken by the Doordarshan and the All India Radio by another news agency. So actually the real telecast happened in a private news agency, and 60 plus channels had already taken the feed from the private news agency, in which All India Radio and Doordarshan are also a part. So it will not account to or amount to the misuse of government resources. So this was the conclusion by the 5-member committee appointed by the Election Commission. So technically here the party in power did not use the public money or official mass media to publicize their achievements ahead of the elections. It was done through a private channel, and the committee thus concluded that the announcement was not in violation of the Model Code of Conduct. So government or the ruling party had taken a longer route in order to publicize about Mission Shakti. Now let us understand, is the argument of the 5-member committee which looked into this matter valid? So coming to Mission Shakti, it is obviously one of the landmark achievement in defense research for our country, and this landmark achievement definitely deserved a public announcement at a high level. But what was the other option left out for the government? Government could have actually let the DRDO in order to explain the achievement first, and this would have served the purpose. So there was no necessity or no mandate that the Prime Minister himself should have made this announcement. So when Prime Minister made this announcement by himself, this is one argument that substantiate the view that it has furthered the prospects of the ruling party by publicizing their achievement. And here the second fact, the practice of using a private agency to record the announcement and then sharing it with the official media. So the government or the Prime Minister had used a longer route, that is the private agency had recorded the announcement and then it was shared with other official media. So here what cannot be done directly is being done indirectly. So finally the result is that what has been prohibited under the Model Code of Conduct has been conducted, but through an indirect way. If we look at it from this angle, we will see that the 5-member committee's conclusion remains a narrow technical view. So in reality, this is only a thin line that divides the idea of making a high-level declaration of a defense capability from using it for electoral advantage. So if we go by the letter and spirit of the Model Code of Conduct, it is possible to conclude that the act violated the Model Code of Conduct. Now the only thing is that government has used an indirect route and the Model Code of Conduct has not been abided in letter and spirit. But otherwise, if we look into the model code of conduct in its full meaning, we can say that the government has violated the model code of conduct in the Mission Shakti speech of the Prime Minister. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and you can also follow my Facebook page for more updates of my videos, and also you can write to me on joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.